me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? I know that we can win. I know that greatness lies in you. But remember, from here on in, history has its eyes on you. History has its eyes on you.
Alexander Hamilton stood up for America's future by fighting in the Revolutionary War with George Washington. He helped draft the Constitution with the Founding Fathers. In Lexington, on April 9, 1777, Hamilton's stance began with him fighting in the war as Washington's aide. These revolutionists took a stance so they could break free from England and become their own country. The actions of Alexander Hamilton shaped the United States into a nation of democracy.
The Battle of Yorktown, 1781.
Monsieur Hamilton!
Monsieur Lafayette!
In command where you belong.
Are you saying no sweat? We're finally on the field. We've had quite a run.
Immigrants,
We get the job done. So what happens if we win?
I go back to France. I bring freedom to my people if I'm given the chance.
We'll be with you when you do.
Go lead your men.
See you on the other side.
In the 1750s and 60s, colonists and Baptists didn't want to be constrained to the rules that advantaged the Church of England. They decided that they were going to move over to the United States of America so they could have their own freedom and religion. In 1773, at the age of 15, Alexander Hamilton moved to America alone from Great Britain to attend college after receiving a scholarship to King's College in New York. He decided to stay in the 13 colonies to seek opportunity and fortune. Colonists wanted to break free from Great Britain because of overtaxation and democracy.
I am not throwing away my shot. Hey yo, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot.
Till the world turns upside down.
Till the world turns upside down.
I imagine death so much it feels more like a memory. This is where it gets me. On my feet, the enemy ahead of me. If this is the end of me, at least I have a friend with me. Repping with my hands, a command, and my men with me. Then I remember my Elias is expecting me. Not only that, my Elias is expecting. So we gotta go, gotta get the job done. Gotta start a new nation, gotta meet my son. Take the bullet.
Alexander Hamilton immediately joined the New York militia after the first battle to make a name for himself in history. In 1777, when he joined the militia, President Washington saw Hamilton's military skills and he asked him to be his aide throughout the war against Great Britain. At the time of Hamilton's appointment, the army was plagued by poor organization and a lack of financing. Hamilton, realizing these problems would also plague the liberated colonies unless they were solved, began to search for solutions. He then spent the winter of 1777 and 1778 with Washington and the Continental Army at Valley Forge.
Son, take the bullets out your gun. The bullets out your gun. We move undercover and we move as one. Through the night we have one shot to live another day. We cannot let a stray gunshot give us away. We will fight up close. Seize the moment and stay in it. It's either that or meet the business end of a bayonet. The code word is Rochambeau. Dig me. Rochambeau. You have your orders now. Go man, go. So the American experiment begins with my friends all scattered to the winds. Lawrence is in South Carolina, redefining bravery. We'll never be free until we end slavery. When we finally drive the British away, Lafayette is there waiting in Chesapeake Bay. How did we know that this plan would work? We had a spy on the inside, that's right.
Till I spying on the British government. I take their measurements, information, and then I smuggle it to my brother's revolutionary covenant. I'm running with the sons of liberty, and I am loving it.
1775, Lexington and Concord were the first battles the American troops had against the British. Hamilton and other students at King's College joined the New York volunteer militia company called the Corsicans. Alexander Hamilton was soon advanced as the captain in the Continental Army and he was given command of an artillery company of nearly 100 men. Hamilton's organization and valor were brought to the attention of General Washington. Hamilton took his stance by supporting General Washington in his fight for the Revolution and was promoted to lieutenant colonel. Most of Alexander Hamilton's duties include drafting addresses to congressmen, governors, and others. Although Hamilton was with Washington during the Revolutionary War, he didn't participate in many military engagements. When the British evacuated Philadelphia in 1778, Hamilton stood by General Washington at the Battle of Monmouth. Hamilton's horse was shot underneath him. He thought he was shot, but came out unharmed.
What happens when you up against the ruffians? We in the somebody's gotta shovel it. Hercules Mulligan, I need no introduction. When you knock me down, I get the back up again. Woo!
On September 17, 1787, Alexander Hamilton signed the Constitution, and during the Constitutional Convention, he played a small role drafting it, while also outlining the Constitution rules. In 1789, President Washington appointed Alexander Hamilton as the first Secretary of the Treasury. Eventually, the brand new government adopted the judicial, executive, and legislative branch of the government. In September 1796, President George Washington gave his farewell address. Alexander Hamilton was Washington's speechwriter and drafted a fair amount of Washington's presidential address. In 1795, Hamilton left office as Secretary of the Treasury on the last day of January. Another political figure, Aaron Burr, was one of Hamilton's good friends for many years, but after 15 years of having every aspiration of his political dreams destroyed by Hamilton, Burr was filled with rage, envy, and revenge. On July 11, 1804, Aaron Burr challenged Alexander Hamilton to a deadly duel, resulting in Hamilton being shot by Aaron Burr and dying the very next day in extreme pain when he was only 47. In 1780, Alexander Hamilton had married Elizabeth Schuyler. Elizabeth Schuyler carried on Hamilton's legacy by creating the first public orphanage in New York City, being that Hamilton was orphaned himself.
We negotiate the terms of surrender. I see George Washington smile. We escort the men out of Yorktown. They stagger home single file. Tens of thousands of people flood the streets. There are screams and church bells ringing. And as our fallen foes retreat, I hear the drinking song they're singing.
The world turned upside down. The world turned upside down. The world turned upside down. The world turned upside down.
Hamilton's stance helped the United States to get the sophisticated banking system and all of the financial systems we have today. He was also a participant in creating the different branches of government, judicial, legislative, and executive, which we still use in our government. Hamilton has fascinated historians throughout time. More recently, in 2008, Lin-Manuel Miranda came to a decision to create a hip-hop musical on Alexander Hamilton to illustrate how much of an impact his stance had on the American government. Ever since the musical Hamilton was released, it has made a gigantic impact on what people know of the Founding Fathers. It also gives some of the less talked about Founding Fathers recognition for what they contributed to create the United States. Lin-Manuel Miranda helped to get Alexander Hamilton's stance across globally, and to increase the knowledge of how much his impact helped the United States.
Freedom for France!